Avatar: The Last Airbender holds a special place in the hearts of many, and it sure does in mine, not only for its captivating storytelling, but also for its exploration of philosophical concepts. To say it contains a few philosophical elements would be a big understatement, but out of all the story arcs and characters, there is one that shines with philosophical brilliance above all others: the journey of Prince Zuko. For me, Zuko's character arc isn't just the most philosophical, it's a deeply personal exploration of identity and redemption. Zuko's story in Avatar is probably one of the best character developments in the recent history of animated film, and maybe even film in general. I would even dare to go as far as to say that the story in Avatar is as much a story about Prince Zuko as it is a story about the Avatar. But what makes Zuko's arc such a compelling and original story? When we first meet Zuko in book 1 of the story, we meet him as the main antagonist. And we could say that isn't really a special thing. He's on a journey with his uncle Iroh to capture the Avatar and regain his honor. He was banished by his father, Fire Lord Ozai, for speaking out of terms during a war meeting, and his only path to redemption, as he sees it in book 1, is to capture the Avatar and restore his honor. But the thing that makes Zuko a very original antagonist is the fact that his own moral choices are the very reason for his tragic banishment. He speaks out against the decision to sacrifice an entire army division as bait, and this, according to his father, is a sign of weakness and dishonor. Unlike stories solely grounded in revenge, Zuko's character arc is rich with development as he confronts his own humanity, vulnerability, and most of all, his flaws. The writers of the show skillfully craft Zuko's backstory within the cultural and environmental context of the Fire Nation, providing insight into what drives his desperate pursuit of the Avatar. Specifically through Zuko's journey in book 1, the show also delves into social issues, such as corruption, deceit, and the dangers of authoritarian regimes. It prompts viewers to reflect on their own principles and values, challenging the notion of sacrificing oneself for the collective, or accepting the status quo. But even more so than all these elements and the fact that we can look at Zuko's journey as being one about regaining his honor, I would like to argue that Zuko's story is in fact an existential one. And it is exactly through the lens of existentialist philosophy that we can better understand Zuko's story. Existentialist philosophy states that existence precedes essence, meaning that individuals define themselves through their actions and choices, rather than being predetermined by external factors in an indifferent universe. And in book 2, we witness this when Zuko's journey takes on a new dimension, as he confronts the complexities of his own identity and grapples with his own concept of authenticity. In the pivotal exchange between Zuko and Iroh, we can see the crux of Zuko's existential dilemma. Zuko confronts one of the fundamental questions of existential philosophy, that of authenticity. Uncle Iroh's probing challenge forces Zuko to confront not only external expectations but also his own internal conflicts.
Who are you? And what do you want?
In existential philosophy, authenticity is considered paramount to the individual's existence. And as Zuko navigates his internal turmoil, he embodies the existentialist quest for authenticity, striving to align his actions with his inner truth and values. This journey mirrors the existentialist notion that true fulfillment and meaning can only be found by embracing one's authentic self, even in the face of uncertainty or doubt. And this is exactly what reflects Zuko's struggle. No longer able to simply chase after the Avatar, Zuko begins to really question the motivations behind his actions and the values that have guided him this far in this journey. Zuko encounters a crucial turning point as he begins to question the path he has chosen. This marks the start of Zuko's real internal struggle with his own identity and his growing doubts about his allegiance to the Fire Nation, a sentiment he shares with his uncle Iroh. And Zuko, at the end of book 2, is almost over the idea of catching the Avatar, realizing it may well not solve his issues. But in the end, he still chooses to do so, betraying Iroh, the one person that cared for him all this time since his banishment. All because of his own choice. Zuko's entire narrative is built on making choices, whether they be the right or wrong ones. And as the French existentialist philosopher Sartre says himself, man is not only free, he is also responsible. He is not only a freedom that is given, but a freedom that is chosen. And so in Book 3, we finally see Zuko returning home, believing that the Avatar is gone and finally becoming the Prince of the Fire Nation that he longed to be for so many years. But yet, Zuko still feels empty inside. The honor and his father's approval that he sought after for so long and which he can finally say he has attained do not make him feel any better or happier. And the existential void he felt while chasing the Avatar is now only replaced by anger and doubt. Anger he often lashes out at others and especially Uncle Iroh. But in the end, Zuko realizes he is only angry at himself.
I'm angry at myself!
Eventually, he reaches a pivotal moment where he decides he's had enough. What unfolds is a remarkable journey of character metamorphosis, arguably one of the most deeply satisfying transformations one could witness. A transformation of unbridled expression. Zuko, who had spent a lifetime seeking validation from his father, finally relinquishes the chains of a predetermined destiny imposed upon him. Embracing authenticity, he takes a courageous step onto his own path. In a moment of clarity, he confronts his father, announcing his departure. He declares his intent to aid the Avatar in restoring balance to the world. This time, he's truly on his own. Cast out once more from the Fire Nation, he faces the disdain of the Avatar and his companions, a consequence of months spent in pursuit of them. Zuko approaches the Avatar with a resolve born of newfound authenticity, seeking to forge a new connection and new purpose. Zuko needed the confrontation with the harsh reality of his choices. Because of this confrontation, he learns that his pursuit of honor and acceptance have led him down a path of betrayal and destruction. And he also learns that true fulfillment cannot be found through external validation alone. There are many more things Zuko's journey teaches, but most of all, it is that true authenticity, fulfillment and happiness comes from following our own moral judgments and most importantly, our own path, even if that means that it can sometimes feel like the world is turned against you. And this is what makes Zuko's journey an existential one. Thank you for watching. Take care.